And next play solid, the way that they're going to draft this is just right on prediction. High mobility heroes, we're going to rely on high mobility and again, those street smarts that they are so well known for to get an advantage. But that's only the first step. I feel like they're going to have a bit more of a mobile pick here on the next rotation. Now, to stop those, of course, LPE has the Sylvana, which has, of course, been lessened as a crowd control source because of the increased cooldowns on the ultimate. I wonder if that's going to result well against Next Play Solid. Again, they are going for hard mobility heroes here for sure. Mark my words.
Exactly.
There you go. One of them.
Roger, you called it right there. Not exactly the Roger pick, but the mobile hero that you want. And another mobile hero there is Alice, being able to move wherever she wants to with the flowing blood. Can really pull off some juke plays here. Now, it's an interesting place we find ourselves in the meta. It was actually it's something that we've been seeing for a while now, but I think it was the MPL Indonesia casters that dubbed it the quote-unquote first strike meta. Where you're instead of getting the traditional tanks that set up, you get pseudo tanks who just try to bait out abilities, and that is actually a good name for the meta that we find ourselves in. And based on the setup here from these two teams with the first few picks, that is what they're going for. Bait out the skills with a pseudo tank, and then you jump in for a fight.
And this has been the trend since yesterday, right? Again, the Bane tanks picking up heroes like the Mafilda who can initiate and also protect, and can kind of just bait out skills and then go for the re-engage, which is what they're great for. Same with the Sylvana. Now, this Uranus, we were surprised by this yesterday. We didn't see it coming, but the other regions are also picking this up. So I feel like this is also kind of where they're going to be differentiated on the game, on their playstyle, right? Again, fast and agile here for Next Play Solid, and slow and methodical here for Laos.
Yeah, and that really describes the playstyles of these two teams very well. Like I said earlier, LPE is more by the playbook. They love the objective fights. Meanwhile, NXP are the very instinctual, kill-focused type of players. That's the type of team that they are. Now, going to the Uranus pick that you mentioned is getting picked out and favored even by the other MPL regions. In MPL Indonesia, sometimes we even see the Uranus get picked up without worry, even if there's an Esmeralda on the other team. Like, that's how much they love that pick.
First rotation pick, and I to be honest, yesterday I was dumbfounded. A little bit dumbfounded because we haven't seen it here locally for a while now. Like, last time I saw this was like first half of Season 6. And afterwards, we didn't really see much of it. In M2, we also didn't see much of this guy.
Yeah, we saw it once though with Kenji.
Yes, exactly. And you saw where Omega ended up there. So, overall, I feel like the Uranus is still one of those heroes that got indirectly buffed as well by the changes to some of the heroes in this patch, and that's the reason why a lot of the pro players are starting to pick him up a lot more.
And with how the draft is looking now here for LPE, they're most likely going to go for a double, how do you call this? Not necessarily fighter, but both of their side lanes are going to be backed by heroes that can just hold down. Uranus is a lane holder, and it seems like they're going to go for like a total hyper funnel, hyper carry type onto the Claude if the Claude is going to go into the jungle. But the bans here, LPE taking out the Lunox and the Eve. Meanwhile, NXP taking out the Lo Yi. What mages are left on the table? We're starting to run out here.
Yeah, we're starting to run out. I feel like the mages that we haven't seen yet are the Harley, which is very unlikely to be picked here. Because, of course, there's a Roger. It's very difficult to target as well. Of course, the Lo Yi is out. The Farsa is out. They're really trying to choke out LPE's mage lineup, mage picks here. To be honest, for me, it is working. It feels like it's working. LPE, they're running out here.
Yeah, if they really are forced to, they might want to pick up the Kagura here for Arvs, a pick that we have seen him use before. What if LPE, though, are going to pull the rug from out of under us and decide to pick up a Bane? Put up the Bane in one of the side lanes, so you're going to have a Bane in Uranus side lane here.
Or I don't even mind Eudora, but...
Yeah.
Whoa!
Okay.
Okay!
Man,
you know what, Reptar? LPE is getting as tanky as they can get here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like everyone almost is a tank, save of course for the Claude, who will be mostly in the side on the jungle.
Yeah.
So LPE, they're huddling up, man. They're building up the bunkers. Everyone, grab a shield, grab a big camping bag. It's gonna be a long game for these guys.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if this game goes past 15 minutes, maybe even closer to 20 here. It is pure lane hold. I won't be surprised if LPE are going to lose the first few takes for the turtle,
Yeah.
maybe the first two. But then as long as Aspect doesn't get taken out on that Claude, as long as he can just maybe keep his death to just one at the most, then he'll be fine. But now NXP, now pulling the rug from under us, decide to go for the 1-1 in the Kagura.
What I tell you.
Interesting lineup.
What I tell you. If you're talking about mobility, you got some of the best heroes in Mobile Legends to really maximize their skirmishing capabilities. And again, they've got some really good damage on their side. Will that be enough to break through the barrier of LPE? We'll have to find out because they're going to need someone pretty good in the mid lane here. They already removed Eve, which would have been great in this situation.
Yes.
Eudora might not be as good, but
Okay.
they pick it up anyway.
They pick it up anyway.
Because I'll be honest, they don't have a choice anymore.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice.
It's the last one left.
It's the last one left that's pretty decent, at least. I mean, it would have been funny if it was a Bane. You know?
That would have been interesting. Put that in the mid lane just to clear it up real quick.
Oh my god, man. If I figured it out before they picked it up, I'm sure NXP also did. Because they exhausted out LPE's hero pool there, for sure.
And picking up the Esmeralda on the side of LPE instead of immediately going for one of the mage options, either the Kagura or the Eudora. Maybe at the same time you could say that LPE wanted this in a sense because they knew going into that okay, they might be forcing us to panic and decide to pick our mage. Because maybe NXP might have prepared something for that, knowing that it's only most likely the Eudora or the Kagura left. But, yep, very interesting draft from these two teams. Instinctual kill-focused NXP versus, by the playbook, LPE. It's game number 1, series 1 of game 2 the MPL.
Of course, this is MPL Philippines Season 7. We are under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board.
And it is going to be an amusing game that we have here. As now you see an aggressive wave cut here by Ryota and Bimo. That's a lot of damage onto Ryota right now. That's a lot of weaknesses exposed onto the Esmeralda, but Esmeralda will be able to get away. You see here the positioning of Bimo and Yaoi. Really, that's just their job right now. Find the opening, get the information, stay by the bushes. Even if you're going to take a lot of damage, at least you're baiting out some skills.
And H2O, great burst on the Arbs though. It's funny how LP is acting here, man. They're acting like they're an early game lineup, but they're not really.
Nope.
They're just trying to flex out. They're trying to show NXP that they're not really scared, but they kind of are.
Yeah, I like this.
I'm sure.
LPE are deciding to go with the flow here. And look at that, Jake the Dog already level 3. Meanwhile, Ryota, again, is going to be forced to go back, but I think he should just stay there to really just get a little bit more experience. As Lancy,
Jake the Dog,
Jake TD, taking a lot of damage. Uranus able to get away. And now we're seeing the power of this pick as to why a lot of teams, especially in MPL and Danish, are prioritizing that. That's just really good sustain, and you got to... He has to decide now at one point to give up lane control to go back, or to stay in lane to really just hold that down because he can't let the 1-1 freely farm. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, because of the aggression that you pointed out that JTD brought out, he even went for a third tower lane cut. That's how deep he went to the back lines there of NXP. He has a little bit more control there.
And again, because of that, Bimo on the top side of the map is able to... He knows what to do because he knows a lot of people are down on bot lane. And again, we still have Aspect farming up really hard here. James behind enemy lines here.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage from the Claude,
Nice
but
catch.
he'll be able to go away. Look at that. James is really low. H2O trying to protect James. James will be able to get away here as Jake the Dog still keeping up the aggression. Doesn't want to give up this fight, but no, H2O might be the one going down here. It turns around, going to the tower, finds the safety of it. H2O secures the first kill there onto JTD's Uranus. Meanwhile, Bimo could be up next, gets a stun, gets stunned, and gets taken down by NXP. That's a 2-0. Hot start here for NXP and possibly even the first turtle.
And the kill and assist on the H2O. That is huge, Reptar. Cannot believe what is happening here. LPE kind of misplayed there on the bot side. Maybe bit off more they can chew.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because that should have been at least an even footing, but that was all for NXP.
And we saw just now there, the effect of the changes onto the turrets where the damage, consecutive target damages on the same target from the turret hurt much more. I feel like if this was their previous patch, JTD might have been able to survive that, but no, he wasn't able to, so he gets taken out here. But yeah, so far, because of the lineup of NXP, we did mention it earlier, NXP might have the better control here in the early game, getting the kills first. Now, and LPE will have to crawl themselves back. It's not too much of a
not too much,
lead,
right?
though. Like,
not
they're
too
still
big.
in it.
But then again, you are we're talking about Roger here, man, who just excels in the early to mid game skirmishes, and when he gets those kills, when he gets the assist, he gets a goal. It's very difficult to stop this guy, especially with the lineup that LP has, very much lacking in hard crowd control.
Yeah, and that's a lot of crowd control though onto JTD. Already forced to use the consecration just to regen back up and avoid going down, so he's still holding down that lane. The mobility that you mentioned earlier that NXP just has so much of, LP is having a little bit of a hard time catching up to it, and little by little we're starting to see a little bit of cracks in their armor of holding down the lanes, because NXP, they're just everywhere in the map right now.
That's right, and H2O, he's been
trying to play the same game as NXP, but then NXP has the better lineup for this, but Ryota has other plans here as he uses the Falling Star Moon onto Renijay. Renijay able to get away. BMO a little bit too late to the party along with Arvs. So LPE are just a bit of a step behind here in terms of the rotations again, because they're not as mobile as NXP.
Yeah, just not as mobile, but we are going to see a bit of a big engage here. BMO, great engagement. They get land C.
Ooh, that
and no resistance at all.
Yeah, no resistance. Gets bursted down.
Weird.
That's a small win that LPE needs here. Now, one thing that we mentioned is that Aspect need not die, and he hasn't gone down yet, as well as H2O. Maybe by the 8th minute or so, do you see Aspect finally having enough items and damage, or will he still need much more time to deal the damage that LPE needs?
Yeah, I feel like Aspect is just taking a lot. If he can get this turtle, yes. But if not, man, there's going to be a bit of an uphill climb still. Great pickup there by LPE, by the way, while that was happening.
Yeah, decided to amp up the aggression.
No way!
Away by H2O! The counter is here by LPE. They're going to try to make something out of this, but no, because of the turtle steal from H2O, those are kills for NXP, an objective for NXP, and a bad time coming here for LPE.
This guy's a god.
Yep.
What was that? Look at this one. There was a shore turtle that went over sideways with just this guy, literally like a boss standing on the side, waiting for the perfect opportunity. No one was going near him. What is this?
H2O, man, hungry like a wolf right now for main objectives. We were saying earlier, NXP, instinctual, kill focus. We're still seeing that, but we're also seeing a little bit more of by the playbook style from NXP, putting a little bit more focus onto the objectives here. Look at them already invading for the purple side, and I think that was stolen. Yes, it was.
Everything.
By H2O. Aspect is having a bad time here. He only has 1 assist and no buzz. This is going to be a fight by LPE. They're going to go for it, but look at that. BMO going straight for H2O. H2O cannot get close, and H2O gets bursted down there by the Eudora. Lancy could be up next. Kagura on the run. The girl with the umbrella. It's raining on you. Able to get away is Lancy. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but it's the carry that goes down on the side of NXP.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about here. LPE definitely is on high pressure alert, but in the end, they are aware that they should be. This is the expected turnout of their lineup. As I said before, you gotta hunker down here because they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But they are doing it in a step in the right direction. They took care of H2O, who has been running unchecked all over the map for the last 6 minutes of the game, and finally got some control on their side.
Yeah, LPE starting to realize, okay, we need to amp up our tempo a bit now, where we can't just follow to the tune of NXP's music here. We have to make our own songs, and so far, there's little by little clawing back into this. Just a 1k gold lead now here for NXP. Towers are tied up, but this is going to be bad news for LPE. They decide to trade the turtle for the tower. Is this the right call?
No, man, because they are going to go for James, which is buying so much time anyway for that bottom lane turret won't go down, and it's gonna have to be a big fight here.
The final blow gets brought out there. NXP look for the counter. That's going to be 1 kill for NXP. Aspect could be up next. That's 2 down on the side of LPE and NXP. The counter play is real. A shutdown there for H2O as Lance C spots out Jake the Dog, and it's only JTD and Ryota left here. Great call there by NXP, and you said it best. James just bought so much time for NXP to go for the counter.
Yep, and then H2O still got some good amount of damage output here with the Lycan Pounds finishing it up. Tower is going to be an easy target. Might be too. We'll have to find out.
Will they go for it? No, they decide to ease it up a bit. They decide, you know what, LPE are back. They're off their respawn, so maybe we shouldn't take this fight. LPE now, though, what do you think the recipe should be for them to make a comeback here?
I know, just make some forward advances to give our Aspect some space, but it's just so difficult, man. At the same time, James is just unchecked on the field as well. They've been focusing so much on H2O now in the past few minutes that they're forgetting the other members, such as the Wan and Renegade, just making such short work at towers here.
And I think LPE wanted to trade that bottom first tier for that top first tier to break down NXP, but then Jake the Dog, I think, seems like he was the one who called for it, that this could be really bad. But NXP decided to ease up the pressure on that bottom tower. They forced LPE to just react to basically nothing.
Yeah, they seem to be getting played each and every time around the map. It's like NXP is willing to trade, but not really. They're just gonna take stuff.
Yeah.
And LPE is not getting anything in return.
They can't be too reactive right now to NXP. And something that our panel, Butters and Naomi, mentioned earlier is that teams in the MPL have that factor of aggression against NXP, but the aggression right now is getting brought out by LPE as they take down Yaoi. No main tank here. Aspect taking a lot of damage. He's forced to BMI back. He has his orange buff. That was way too close.
Way too close for comfort. There was also a possibility that the Lycan Pounds would have carried over to him.
Yeah, all the way
back to the BMI, but luckily for him it didn't, but could have been.
And JTD now, let's see if the weaknesses are spotted. Renegade just waiting for the right time to use that ultimate, but look at that, Uranus just eating up all the damage. Renegade is dishing out. Here comes the ultimate, but it's not enough. Renegade did his absolute best.
Okay.
But Jake the Dog says, you know what, I'm gonna hold it down.
I'm gonna hold it down. Some really slick moves there as well from Renegade. I really like it, and NXP is just playing with no pressure. You can feel it, right? Like, they're just doing anything they want to do on the map. They're doing some risky moves, but they're not getting punished at all.
And Bimo spots out Yaoi. That's going to be 1 versus 1 between the two tanks here, and both teams back off. That thing you mentioned about NXP being a little bit more, not carefree, but more relaxed in a way.
Yeah.
Not overly pressured. That's the type of coaching Doggy wanted to have for his team to not... It's like he told them, don't overthink the game.
Right.
Just trust in yourselves. And you're starting to see it. NXP are trusting themselves individually, and they're just firing from every single...
Losing out slowly.
But what I like about LPE is they're not playing this too defensively. As you get the item check there, he only has the Demon Hunter sword.
Okay, thank you.
Still on the way to the Golden Staff. Only the Raptor Machete and the DHS for him. Meanwhile, look at that. Already 8.2k here.
Oh my
for
god.
H2 already has the endless battle of the Wind
Wrote to 4 items already.
Yeah.
He's going 5 items.
Okay, so
And,
I guess you could say it's 4 minutes away, maybe, until LPE, if Aspect... Okay, Aspect at least finally got the Golden Staff.
I'm getting your timer on right now. 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes. And we'll have to wait and see if they kind of agree with us, because if we get to the DHS Golden Staff, there's going to be some damage at least for Aspect. Maybe they can try to go for something. But for the meantime, it doesn't look like there's anything happening for LPE. And H2O is so confident, he's even dancing around with the Lord already.
Yeah, just going for the free hits. Bimo, not sure if he knows Yaoi and James are there. Ooh, what a flame shot, already bursting down Arps. Arps is going to be forced to go back. What a play by NXP. They smelled blood and went for the dive all the way to that purple buff, taking out Arps. That's a lot of damage gone. Now, on the side of LPE as NXP with the Enhanced Lord are going to be going for this. Jake the Dog and BMO trying to buy time here as Ryota is coming from the middle, but I don't think that's going to be enough time to turn it around. Look at that, NXP fighting it out. JTD gets mega killed there by 1-1. Renegade 4-0 and 4 right now as NXP will get this Enhanced Lord. Of course, all of that started by that beautiful pick-off there by NXP.
Yeah, the guy who's supposed to do the bursting just got bursted for LPE. Eudora taken out in a blink of an eye, which resulted in a very good team fight there for NXP, reaping so many rewards. I don't know, LPE is going to start to lose towers here very soon, especially with the push on the Lord. If they don't deal with the Lord, this is going to be a G push. At the same time, I think NXP, what they can do, they try to go for a mid lane push, just like a Lord, like go for a death ball.
Yeah.
And there's very little that LPE can do about it.
Yeah, most likely though, guess what you're trying to say here is that LPE will just lose a lot no matter what.
Yeah, it's a free lane push instead. So good luck to LPE, man. Game 1 starting to look like it's going to go out of the ballpark.
Yeah, as LPE desperately are going to try to defend this. There's action in the bottom lane as Jake the Dog takes a lot of damage. Right now, he's really just a sponge for the damage that NXP is bringing out, but LPE doesn't have enough damage to dish out. That is the equivalent of what damage is getting done to JTD. Look at that. Yeah, he's already deep in. That Lord is about to go down. Ryota takes a lot of damage. Ultimates already have been committed. Here comes the Blazing Duet. James could be up next, but no! The Winter Truncheon keeps him alive, and James able to get away. Aspect gets bursted down. That really did look like a great play by Aspect, but that was just an even greater response defensively by NXP.
And the moment Aspect went down, LPE's defense starting to look a lot less solid here. They're coming in, Yaoi with the plays.
Oh no, look at that. The ultimate already popped by
Big
BMO.
miss.
Jake the Dog gets taken out, but that's going to be a return kill there by Arbs. James going straight to the back there. Let's see if he'll be able to make something out of this, or I think he'll just disrupt this out. And yeah, you said it, Ragar. They lost a lot here. It's only that middle inhibitor left. Both side lane inhibitors have been broken.
And I don't know how long LPE can hold on for. And they're definitely respecting the timer that you gave them. Items-wise, LPE is not going to have enough to go for a big fight. So they are going to have to stay around the mid lane, stay around the base. They're running out of time here. How well off is H2O right now? 5-1-4 on Roger. Renegade as well, not even suffering any deaths from the laning, from the mid lane, mid-game.
Yeah, and I like what we're seeing here. It's the 3 members of NXP that got retained, leading the way for the new blood of James and Lancey, where H2O, Renegade, and Yaoi are saying, we've been here before, this isn't our first MPL, we'll show you how it's done. And they're setting a great example for their teammates.
Yep, I really like the Tank Benedetta by Yaoi as well, man. A lot of people were saying he's stuck with Kufra last season. Right now, though, he's making a statement that he's going to be able to make some stuff work with other heroes as well.
And it worked really, really well in this game. As NXP, you see them positioning themselves in a way where they're just trying to see if anyone from LPE will overstep by just a little bit, get a pick-off. From that one pick-off, if they didn't commit too much, they could go for the GG push. But then LPE aren't showing that, so NXP, we're really just waiting for the next Lord here. And this Lord push could be the final one to win it for NXP unless somehow LPE find a way to surprise us all and just reverse it on the top of the heads of NXP.
Honestly, I'm actually surprised right now. You know why? Usually NXP would play for kills each and every turn of the game. They're becoming a lot more reserved. They're becoming a lot more calculated now. They're not going for anything. Like, you would expect them after a big advantage to go fight again. But no, they're waiting for the Lord. They are controlling the waves. We did not see this level of discipline from these guys in the previous season.
Yeah, in the previous season, you could honestly say...
Fight, fight, fight.
Yeah, fight, fight, fight. You were watching kids who are just really great at ML play in the MPL. But now this time, they really learned a lot from their first season. And you could see it here. You pointed it out. Let's see, though, if they can get this Lord as LPE are going to look to try to contest this. Nope. Actually, but we felt the effects recently.
The presence
with
is
Alice.
there.
Yeah, the presence is there.
Exactly, he's doing some good damage, and I think he's just giving the kills over to H2O. I don't know. I haven't really seen a big fight for like 4 minutes now, which is might be a record for NXP already. But we'll have to double check later. But again, they are doing the right things to do here. Waiting for the Lord. It's gonna go on top side. Surprisingly, mid is still pretty much LPE controlled as well. We'll see.
Yeah, and what hurts here for LPE, if you were able to catch that on your screens, is that Aspect is only about to hit 10K in his gold. And we're already getting close to the 18-minute mark of the game. It just goes to show how much he was suffocated out of his own jungle, and this could be the GG push.
Just for contrast, that's the lowest gold on the side of NXP. Highest gold in LPE, lowest gold in NXP.
Yeah, that really hurts, and let's see how much is this gonna hurt. Can they defend this? Can they hold on? As all the ultimates, all the skills have been dished out. The setup by James with the Blood Ode, and look at that, NXP, it was, and it is, the final GG push, securing the first game victory.
And I gotta say, that is how you go